Nice to meet you. I have been feeling a little creatively inclined, and I thought I would give my best shot at doing a little vlog just so I can have some output into the world, talk a little, ramble a little, video journal, so to speak. I never have been much one for writing or journaling the old fashioned way. And since we live in such a creative modern world, I thought that I would make a little video, talk to the internet, talk to the world, whoever may be out there watching this. And I figured it could be a little ASMR adjacent. I've always loved ASMR, and since I think I'm a little soft spoken in general, it could lend itself to being a pseudo ASMR video. So hopefully I can bring you some relaxation, some tingles, just by talking and rambling. Bear with me, I have never really just pressed record and talked openly and blatantly. The setup is a little weird. I have recently just moved back to New York City. I have bumped and bumbled all over the place for the last couple years. I have lived in Chicago, Los Angeles, the Bay Area, and now back to New York City, which is probably my favorite place in the world. I can't really speak for the whole world because I have only lived and been in the United States. I've never left the country. I have a passport, but I have never actually used it to travel outside of America. So I've never left the borders of our country, but I would love to one day. This year, I would love to. Granted, I've just gone through a very big move. The last couple years, I've been doing nothing but moving, nothing but packing up my life and moving to different states, taking on new jobs, and just refiguring out my life over and over again. So I'm hoping New York City is, I'm hoping New York City is the current permanent place for the future. But as I was saying, I would love to travel internationally. It's always been a dream of mine. I've just never had the means or the drive to do it. But the older I get, the more I know I want to see places beyond the US. Bucket list would definitely be London, Paris, Tokyo. Oh my god, I think Tokyo is number one for me personally. I just think it's such a advanced society. The tech, the fashion alone. Oof. Don't get me started on Tokyo. I would love to visit Tokyo. I think some of my qualms about Tokyo is I'm not too sure how they would receive me. I don't really know how to explain that, but I guess in America we have so many different kinds of people. Obviously we have different pockets of the country that's not as accepting and not as kind, but I don't know, Tokyo is a very secular, all Japanese people. Who knows? They may embrace people like me and treat me kindly. They're very respectful, to my knowledge. But yeah, there is a slight fear of going to places. I could never go to Dubai. People like me just do not survive in Dubai. But one day I will go to Tokyo. That is definitely top of the bucket list. Okay. So, I guess part of the reason I wanted to make a video is I've always wanted to express myself more. I've had ambitions to do a lot of creative things in the span of my life, and I think as life goes on, you kind of let those ambitions go to the wayside, especially the more adulting you have to do. Um, Finding a job, having a career, all the other fun things kind of sit on the back burner. I used to want to be a fashion designer, believe it or not. I went to FIT. That's why I moved to New York City originally. I'm from California, lived in California all of my childhood, teenage years. And when it was time to go to college, I decided I would move to New York City and go to FIT, which I did. And I actually was in the design program at first. Very quickly realized that creativity and independence are two things that do not operate well together. So I did pivot. I did go into more of a lucrative career path. I went into merchandising and ended up really not finding a passion, but finding a strong ability to do buying and merchandising. So that's what I currently do. That is my 9 to 5. And of course, the creativity kind of leaves, or doesn't. I don't really have the time to do creative things now that I have an adult job and an adult life. But I try. I still try to follow my dreams and my passions any little ways I can. I moved back to New York City because I was feeling very impassioned by life and very lonely, truthfully. But I'm back, and I'm trying to make the most of my time here and my future. But part of that is fulfilling the creative and the personal needs, the personal fulfillment. I always think of it like The Sims. They really nailed it. We have fulfillments and needs and those bars that you have to raise. I can satisfy the hunger, the bladder, the cleanliness, but that social factor or the fun, the entertainment, like that also has to be filled. And how do we fill that? I guess maybe that's what I'm trying to do here today, for me personally. I will say moving back to New York City has been a little bit of a lonely experience so far. I think there are a lot of opportunities to make it a very fulfilling and fun experience and meet great people, but again, the older you get, is it not hard? The adults out there, do you have a grand, easy time meeting new people? It could just be personality, it could just be a me thing, but meeting people is hard, and opening yourself up to have wonderful new friendships. I am a very guarded person, so that aspect is hard for me, but I'm trying. It starts with doing things that make you feel uncomfortable, such as recording videos on the internet and talking and putting these things out there. And that's what I'm trying to do. So let's talk a little bit about me. Some things I love. I love to read. I don't do it as much these days, but I've always been a big reader since I was a child. I grew up reading Nancy Drew and, oh my god, the Twilight series. That was like my book awakening. It's definitely shaped a lot of who I am today. The last book I read was a book called I Love Dick. I forget who the author was, but it was a really weird book. It was about like a middle-aged woman who was in this like one-way one-sided, I should say. Like, she had a crush on this man who she had an encounter with, and it was like her reckoning that being a woman and her reckoning with being a woman and having these feelings and kind of feeling silly about it, and the way women should feel certain things and the expectations of how women should behave, I think was like the main themes of it. But I thought it was a good book. I would recommend it. I also love to knit. I never thought I could knit. I thought it was too foreign of a concept for me. But over the last couple years, I have been a steady knitter. I am in the process of knitting a pair of socks. I would love to show you the sock that I completed. How beautiful is she? I just really love this color, this vibrant orchid purple. So sock 1 done, and then I'm currently in the process of knitting the second sock. Here, I'll do a couple stitches for you. We are knitting the cuff of the sock. It is a 1x1 rib, which means we knit 1 and purl 1. And we do that until we have a full cuff of our sock. I have made tops, sweaters, scarves. I love a good mindless scarf knit. I really want to make like a big, long wool scarf in the round. There is a scarf, I think it's called the Kilometer Scarf by Florence by Mills, and it's like just one really big closed tube. I really want to make that. I should do it soon before we're back into the warm weather. Today is February 14th, Valentine's Day, hence the red. Had to be somewhat festive, but it is not warm, but it was 40 degrees today, and if you've lived in New York the last couple months, you would know that we will take 40 degrees happily. Sorry, I saw like a little floaty thing, but what was I saying? Oh yes, knitting a scarf. I definitely want to get the warm knits done soon, because we will be in warmer weather soon, and it's not going to make a lot of sense to knit a 10-foot long wool scarf and wear that out into the spring weather. So we'll get the warm stuff done soon, and then we'll just pivot to the cottons and the linens and the flowy, drapey knits. Lately I have really been going into the Charlie XCX discography. I have been a fan since I was a Tumblr kid. I think I was there from the early days of True Romance, and it's been a while since Brat, but I just have not let it go. Brat still has a very strong hold on me. I actually have my little CD copy here. I bought this when I lived in Los Angeles at Amoeba Records. It was $14.98, but very proud to own her. I don't even have a CD player, I just bought it because I love her. I've always loved her. I've been listening to the Wuthering Heights soundtrack today. I felt like it was a good vibe. It's Valentine. Well, that's probably why they released it today. It came out today. The movie is out too. I have not seen like to, I don't know, there's a lot of conversation online. I think some people are not a fan of the modern kind of take on Wuthering Heights, but I don't know. I'm kind of here for it. We live in a modern world. Things are not going to be like we always have done them, if that makes sense. I think at a certain point we have to embrace new things and different takes and open our minds up a little bit. You know, we can't remake the same classical movie 5 times and give you the same version. I'm here for something different. If I really want to see it. I live right near a movie theater. I was heavily considering buying a movie subscription pass to the Regal Cinemas. $90. You can see unlimited movies for 3 months, but let me tell you, my rent from moving to Los Angeles to New York City, it's increased by $1,000. Granted, I live alone now in this big, beautiful apartment that you see me in, all mine. Oh my gosh, it's so expensive to live here though. I will desperately need a promotion coming up soon. I'm working very hard at my job, which I think is also kind of why I've been tapped out. It feels like life sometimes can revolve around the career, and I feel like I'm losing myself sometimes. That's such a scary thing to admit, but truthfully, there are days I'm like, who am I? I didn't quite plan for life to turn out like this, but I think if I ponder too long on it, it would make me very depressed, very sad, very existential, and I think I just gotta do little things to find happiness. I'll be honest, my job does not make me very happy right now. But who knows? Maybe I'll find a nice niche of life that will bring me a nice balance. I went to MAC yesterday, MAC Cosmetics, and I picked up a really pretty lipstick. This is syrup. It's so weird. I mean, it looks very orange on camera, but it's a very pinky, pretty mauve. Let me do a little swatch. See? Very pink. Here, I'll put a little bit on. Cute. I think that's really pretty. So, very excited about that. I have a bad shopping habit. That is typically what brings me a little bit of joy and happiness. Just buying the little things. I think we're all like that, one of my favorite things, or concepts, or theories, I guess, like the lipstick theory. In times of like economic recession, they say that women will buy a $10 lipstick to make themselves feel better versus like a $50 purse. You typically think like things like beauty might get put to the wayside if we are in economic hard times, but those little $10 lipsticks make life a little bit easier. And so that's why I have my MAC lipstick. I love MAC. I feel like she is having a bit of a resurgence. I don't know if anyone agrees. I feel like for a while there were so many new and innovative brands in beauty coming out, and MAC, she just kind of was there. She's always been there, but I think she is doing a couple things right lately. I have this beautiful pink poodle candle. Isn't she so precious? I got this at I want to say it was a thrift store in the East Village about a year ago. I had come to New York for my birthday. Still living in LA at the time, but I took a trip to New York. I visited a close friend, and I went to this thrift store in the Lower East Side. No, sorry, the East Village. And they had candles, and I got this beautiful little pink poodle. Never lit it, don't plan on it. I plan on just keeping her for life. What else can I talk about? Other things that I like, I think it was kind of obvious with me saying that I went to FIT and I wanted to study fashion design, but I'm a big lover of fashion. I think lately I'm not as up to date. Like, I'm not looking on the Vogue app for all the latest runway collections. When I was younger, I would be constantly digging through runway archives and really creating mood boards and really kind of shaping my own vision of what I think fashion should be. I think I still can express myself through fashion, obviously through what I wear, but also through my knitting. I like to take my time on my projects and kind of really create things that I know I'll wear, things that I feel are in tune with my wardrobe and personal style. And I do a lot of modifications. I will typically take a pattern and like tweak things. Like, for example, I love a long sleeve. Like, I don't want a 3/4. Well, I don't mind a 3/4, but with knits in particular, I love a sleeve that just like goes past the fingertips almost, and a bell sleeve too. So I'll do little modifications to put my own creative spin on some of the knitting patterns that I do. But yeah, I'm kind of blanking out now. I've been rambling for about 23 minutes, it says. I think that's a pretty good amount of first vlog talking and rambling. Who knows if I'll ever find the bravery to put myself out there so forwardly and boldly in this manner again. So, if anything, I hope you feel a little bit relaxed. Maybe you feel a little commonalities with some of the things that I talked about. If you do, let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments if you feel the same way about any of the things that I mentioned. But thanks for bearing with me. I hope you've had a lovely, amorously filled Valentine's Day. If you spent it with a loved one, I hope it was a great day. And thanks for watching.